All right. Welcome back to Eyes Open Media. Prophet John here. Hope you guys are doing well. Okay, so looking at the map. Okay, so here's a John Hopkins map for the coronavirus, and you can see that we've surpassed 25,000 from the last video that we did. And when I said I was going to be back at 25,000, well, we're almost at. Well, today we're going to be over 30,000 once the new numbers come out later today. Basically, it's gonna be around. Usually, the new numbers come out around 7 a.m. Between 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Um, Asian time, okay, China time, Japan time, Philippines time, okay, so Hong Kong time, okay, so between that period is when they're putting out the new numbers. Now we already know that these numbers are highly suppressed, okay, but these are the numbers that they give us, so we have to just follow these numbers, even though that we know that they're fake, and they're suppressed numbers. Okay, so we have to wait. We have to wait for for that, and for you people on the East Coast or West Coast, that's usually around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and so for you people on the West Coast, that's between four Pacific time to let's just say 7 Pacific time. Okay, that's when the real numbers come out. Oh, okay, and so I believe that by the end of today or in the morning over in Asia, we will be over 30,000 infected as we continue to grow. It's now growing. It's now growing about 4,500 a day. So we're almost close to 5,000 a day now. Remember, I told you guys it's gonna be growing in increments, and we were at first it was at 500 a day. I mean, first it was at 100 a day. Then we went to 500 a day. Then we went to 1,000 a day. Then we went to 20 like 1,500 to 7,500 a day, like 1,700 a day. Then we went to 2,500 a day. Then we went to 3,000 a day. Now we're at like 4,500 a day. Okay, so next is we're gonna cross over to 5,000 a day, and then once we get to 10,000 a day, that's when people are going to. I think that's when people are going to start to realize something is wrong, right? I think that's when that's gonna happen. So right now we're about 4,500 a day now. The last couple of days it's been around 4,500 a day. So and then once we get to 100,000 infected, that's gonna register right now. 50,000 is gonna be big one too. That's gonna be all over social media, I believe. Once we hit 50,000 infected, I think the CDC, the World Organization, the World Health Organization, and others are going to be making major announcements about this because once we get to 50,000 infected, I guarantee they're gonna be making a major announcement. That's gonna be next week, right? Because we're at 4,000. We're at about 4,000 to 4,500 a day. So within the next few days, we're gonna be at we're gonna be at 50,000 within the next few days, right? If we just keep that number. But I think by the weekend we might get to 5,000 a day. Okay, so then the next move is 5,000 a day, and you only need 10 days to get to get to 50,000, right? With 5,000 a day, 5 times 10 is 50,000, right? So or 5 times 10 is 50, but if you do 5,000 times 10, that's 50,000, right? So it would only take us 10 days to get to 50,000. So this thing is starting to, and you can see how it is here. It's starting to go up the roller coaster. And when this whole thing started, I told you guys. I'm not sure if I told you guys or I told Patreon, but I think probably told both of you people that we were going to see this thing as a roller coaster ride. That's how we need to look at it, as a roller coaster ride going up the roller coaster before it makes that climax drop, right? So that's what we want to go, and that's what we're doing now. We're going up the roller coaster, and then we're gonna get to the climb, and then we're gonna hit the climax. Okay, And so right now we're going up the roller coaster, and it's going to get to 5,000 a day. Then it's going to get to 7,500 a day. Then it's going to get to 8,000. Then we're going to get to 10,000 a day, and then that's when I believe they're going to pick this thing up and try to bring some type of climax to it. In my opinion, we're going to be in that massive acceleration mode once we get to that 10,000 a day. Okay, so right now we're in the calm, right? We're in the calm because we're not at 10,000 a day yet. And so people really don't care that much. Like, people care, but they don't care that much because we're only at 28,000 infected worldwide, and it's 9 billion people, 8 billion people on the earth. Or how many people? 10, it could be 10 billion people. We don't know. So many people are undocumented. So it's not really a big deal to many people, except for people that are in China and have been stuck in their homes for the last 3 weeks, right? And there was a drone footage of Wuhan, China, and literally it was a ghost town. And literally, like, the few people were on the bridge, few people were outside, almost literally everybody in that town. I mean, there's a lot of people that live in Wuhan, China now, and so this drone. I think you can find it online in social media and Twitter and stuff. But this drone was flying over to see what was really going on in Wuhan, China, and it's literally a ghost town. So a lot of people probably have evacuated that, or people are just staying inside. And yeah, so when people say that, oh, this thing, ain't nothing going on in China. Well, then, you know, that drone footage that just came out this morning showed a different story. So who knows? And also, Box Mining is doing this every day. He lives in Hong Kong, right? He does his live streams. He calls his family members that are in China, that are in Shanghai and Beijing, I believe, and in other areas. And I think they're also in Wuhan, I think. And yeah, they're stuck. They can't do nothing. So he's been talking to them every day. So people are affected by this, even though you might not be yet. Who knows that? Who says that you won't be at some point? Who says that the next laboratory won't boom, come, spread it out, in the UK or in America? Who says that? If they can do it in China, they can do it anywhere in the world. Right? And so if they want to if they want to rapidly get this thing going, they'll just they'll just do it in another country with another laboratory. Oh my God, an outbreak, you know? So they can do whatever they want, right? And so apparently they can. So we had a big jump in Japan. Japan has 45 people now, and that's because a cruise ship with 20 people were somebody in that cruise ship was infected by the coronavirus, and it spread to all of them on the cruise ship. So now Japan has 45 people now infected with that, and Singapore continues to rise, Thailand rising, Hong Kong now jumped from 15 to 24. And so, like I said, Box Mining is in there, and he's gonna have to make a decision. I think let's say within the next 4 weeks, because this thing is gonna in my opinion, as we see the numbers here, these numbers are not even gonna look like this within the next 10 days. They're gonna be astronomical, in my opinion. So let's just watch and see how this thing goes, because Box Mining is in there in Hong Kong. He's gonna have to make a decision to either stay inside 24 hours a day or fly or leave the country, right? So he still has to make that decision soon. Okay. Now his trip to China, his trip to I think he had a trip to I'm not sure it was Beijing or Shanghai. Well, one of his trips got canceled, and I think it was to Beijing. I'm not sure, but yeah, they canceled the trip. I think the airports canceled it, and so his other trip to Japan is also being threatened to be canceled as well. So as Japan numbers continue to rise, USA now at 12, and Germany is at 12 as well, and Australia at 14. South Korea also rising at 23. And look at the recoveries. We got 1,382 people that are fully recovered. Now there are some treatments, some things that they're experimenting with, and they found one that actually does really well. And it says that if you have the coronavirus, that what there's a treatment on there. I'm not sure what it's called, but they've been using several different treatments, and they said the treatments have been actually working. Like within like 48 hours, the people literally don't have any more symptoms of the virus. So that's pretty cool. So it looks like they found something that's working, and so I think we're going to see the total recovery start shooting up as well. So as the recovery shoots up, the infected might it's going to accelerate, but the recovery is going to accelerate as well, in my opinion. Okay. Now the death tolls, we know it's a complete lie. We know that because of people in China that are doing videos on social medias are showing that there's at least, in this more there's 70 new bodies, in this more there's 80 bodies, in this more there's 100 bodies, and that's every day. They new bodies coming in and things like that. So the death toll is way low. The death toll is just absolutely ridiculously low and suppressed like crazy. And so, that's not the real death tolls. According to all the videos that we have seen on social media with people actually going to the cemeteries, and they're overcrowded with bodies and things. So 565, come on now. That's way low, right? Anyways, that's what's going on, and we'll get in. We'll see if we cross 30,000 later today. I don't think that people are going to make a really big deal out of it. I think 50,000 infected is going to be when people start making a big deal out of it, and 100,000 is when people are going to start. Panic is going to start setting in my opinion, and we're not going to be that far off from 100,000. I mean, you think about it. It's only at 5,000 a day. It's only going to take 10 days to 10 days to get there to 50,000. So you're talking about within the next 20 days, we could be at 100,000 on this thing, right? Within the next 20 days, within the next 15 to 20 days, we could literally be at 100,000 infected. And that's when I think things are going to change. Okay. People are going to be like, okay, 100,000 people in the world are infected. How many of those people? How many of those 100,000 affected another 100 people? Right. And so, all right. So I think by the time we end February, we're definitely, in my opinion, if the trend continues, we're definitely going to be over 100,000, easily over 100,000 people. And then March is going to be looking. We're going to be most likely going in March. We're going to be at over 10,000 infected a day. And that could come a lot quicker. That and we could literally do that next week. I mean, last week when we talked about this, we were at 2,000 infected a day, and now we're at 4,500 infected a day now. So imagine what we're gonna be next week. How about next weekend? By next weekend, right? Not this weekend coming up, but the next weekend, we could be at 10,000 infected a day, right? So it's rising faster than people want. Okay, now let's look at some cryptos because cryptos are soaring because of the news, and because of the coronavirus. You got cryptocurrencies doing really well. Okay, so cryptos are doing really well because of the coronavirus. I guess people in China have nothing else to do but to go on their laptops and buy cryptos, and trade cryptos, spend some money, and they can't go to work or anything. In fact, everything's closed. So maybe they're on there and they're buying cryptocurrencies. They're trading with cryptos and buying cryptos. Litecoin at 73, Bitcoin almost at 10,000, and Ethereum up 7%, and we got Tron up 12%, looking good there. I do still own Tron because you get a monthly dividend of BTT tokens there. Okay, and you got NEM up 11%, and we have Ravencoin up 10%, and Miso Go up 8%. Miso Go's been doing really well all the last week. Um, okay, so you got some coins doing well. You got there's BTT right there up 9%. So there you go. Things are cryptos are looking good. I did buy some ZN, Zino and Gas. Interesting. Prophetess Shirley hit me up and said, "Hey, the father told me to load up on Zinol and gas yesterday morning." I was like, "Why didn't you, man? Why didn't you tell me, man? It was sitting there at 23 cents, right? I could have bought a ton of it." At 23 cents. I did buy some today, this morning, pre-market. I think I don't know where I got it at 30 cents. I think I got it at 30 cents. I think I got a little bit at 31, and then I got like 30 cents for, and then I got 30 cents. So if it drops down, I'll grab some more. At 20, if it drops to 29, 28, 27, I'll grab some more. If it drops to 25, I'll grab a lot. And yeah, man. So that's what's going on. Hope you guys are doing well. The markets are also green because they're pumping billions and billions of dollars into the market. So there's nothing we can do about that until until it stops, right? So let's see if the markets, so we can see 30,000 on the markets, and then we'll see what happens from there. Peace out, God bless, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Eyes open. Bye.